Helena Mills, plans for the school to expand and possibly to open up a new school. Can you take us to the basics? What are the plans?
Well, I've been meeting with people from Essex to look at basic need, and I'm sure people who have children in the primary in Harlow are aware that actually there's a massive population explosion actually in year 3 and 4 in particular, and most of the primary schools have expanded, and actually once those children come to be of secondary age in 2018, there's going to be a need for more secondary places within Harlow. And that's even if all of the 5 current secondary schools expand their full capacity, taking on maybe an extra class each. So there will be basic needs. So we were talking to Essex a little bit about that. And the Trust decided that, as you know, Burnt Mill is very oversubscribed, and we are constantly having requests from parents saying, couldn't you build another Burnt Mill? So we were looking at how we could explore expansion of this site. This site is too small to expand any further. 210 is our published admissions number. We're full at 1,200. So we have talked with Essex, looked at any other sites in Harlow, and of course there is an educational site that's been mothballed for the last few years, which would be a perfect site for a new school to meet basic need.
Is there a timetable here?
So now to get a new any new educational provision, probably the best route for any local authority is through the free school movement, and the timetable for application for a free school is March 2016. So we're looking to consult with the community. Obviously at the Trust Board we think it's a good idea, but we need to know if the community really does feel that Burnt Mill Academy Trust opening a second secondary school is a good option. So if we do feel that there is support for that in the community, then we will be looking to put in an application in March to the Department for Education.
And how are you going to go about trying to find out, canvassing whether there is support or not?
So straight after half term I've got lots of meetings in my diary, mainly with head teachers of the local primary schools, also with other members of the community, just to gather feedback about their views about a second Burnt Mill in the town.
Is this a delicate diplomatic or political negotiation? Because have you spoken to the other senior schools and canvassed their opinion?
No, we haven't. We will be. That's one of my timetable meetings, is to meet with the other secondary heads and see how they feel about, or whether they themselves are going to make a decision to put in a free school application, because anybody can put in a free school application, but I suppose it's about your capacity. At the moment we feel we've got the capacity to actually deliver high quality secondary education on another site, so it would just be a discussion with those heads if they feel that they're in that position too.
And just to the parent on the street in Harlow, could you explain a little bit about what actually a free school is?
Yeah, so a free school is a bit like an academy basically. It's not a local authority controlled school, it is funded from central government. Like an academy you have freedoms. I suppose the title free school gives you a bit of a clue. Freedoms to deliver whatever curriculum you want. You can decide your own admissions policy, obviously within the admissions law of the country, but it gives you flexibility, and at the moment we've decided to pursue whether there is the desire. We haven't actually yet decided what that school might look like.
But do you have any sort of feeling that this school up in the old Parsonal site, will it have a sixth form, for example?
Yeah, so one of the decisions that we've made is that if we were to put in a proposal for a free school, it would be an 11 to 19 school. Again, we need to talk to, and in fact that's another diaried meeting with Harlow College and St Mark's, because they are the 2 sixth form providers in the school, in the town. We wouldn't want to compete with the offer that they have, but we would want to offer something different. So for example, we know that our top students last year from Burnt Mill Academy left Harlow, studied their A-level provision in Hertfordshire, and because some of the qualifications that they wanted weren't being delivered in those organisations. We're also really aware that an international baccalaureate qualification isn't delivered anywhere in Harlow. Again, our top students are leaving, they're going to Hockrell to study that qualification. So post-16 provision would be something that we're very keen to look at.
And finally, do you see your plans here as part of what we could call the zeitgeist in Harlow? There's new proposal for housing developments. We've seen George Osborne here opening up a new, the plans for a public health, the great investment. Do you see something like this as harnessing that energy?
Yeah, well, I think Harlow is at a very, very exciting time in its development. It is growing. It is growing far quicker than other towns in the southeast. And yeah, I think it's time for something new. And you asked me about free schools and what they are. I think free schools give people the opportunity to have a different type of provision. And I think over the last couple of years in Harlow, we've seen that actually different types of provision really work. For example, the Aspire Academy, which is a free school, is offering really high quality alternative provision for children where mainstream education hasn't worked. So yeah, I think it's an exciting time to be in education in Harlow. It's an exciting time for parents because I think there is going to be more choice, which I think some parents will welcome.
Alina Mills, thank you very much.